Okay, that's the sound which introduces the superintendent of Maryland County on Phoenix Radio. And so for his maiden interview, we have the Honorable Superintendent of Maryland County, Henry Cole, who's going to be first briefing us about activities in the county, current and trending events. And of course, after that, we'll roll into some question and answer. My name is Radford Gardner. Stay tuned to this interaction.
Okay, thank you very much. Again, like I said, I'm glad to be here. And this is my very first interaction with Radiophonics as Superintendent of Maryland County. There have been rumors, accusations with regards to a meeting that was held some 3 days ago at the administration building. And this meeting had to do with brokering peace in the conflict between Rocktown and Big Town. Now, what was it? I was rating by the two towns that first Big Town came over and made me to understand that Rocktown had gone to the extent of breaking the cornerstones that were made during the last survey. And besides that, they had the audacity to unroot a poster or whatever billboard that was planted by one of their sons. And so they did not have any means of making confusion, but instead they thought to bring it by the office of the superintendent so that the superintendent in his wisdom would call Rocktown. The following day, Rocktown brought up part of the story that Big Town had erected a billboard, and in fact, they took the billboard because they did not know who had put the billboard on the road. And what they explained was that they went to Big Town on 3 occasions to ascertain as to who had put the billboard on the road, and Big Town did not give them any response. So after that, they went there and forcibly took the billboard and took it to Rocktown and said, look, we've taken the billboard, and if it interests anyone, come over to Rocktown and take the billboard. Besides that, Rocktown also complained that there have been series of scrimmages along the beachway that leads to Rocktown, where one person was halted on the road and wanted to know if he was from Rocktown or he was just passing through. And he said, well, look, I'm arriving and I do not hail from Rocktown. Given these stories, I thought to call a forum of the both of them so that we could go through a discussion, a brotherly and sisterly discussion, giving the history of the two towns as being brothers and sisters. So the government thought to broker peace. During the program, I made it crystal clear that we had not gone to discuss boundary. We had gone to make peace so that the brother and sister or the two brothers could live in harmony. This superintendent was not prepared for survey because I am not a surveyor and I do not intend to be one now. And so my role will be to make sure that the two of them live in harmony. So gave him the testimony from Big Town. I was told vividly that, in fact, Rocktown did go to them, and of course, 3 times, but they did not say who had erected the billboard. In Rocktown's explanation, they said yes, they went there. Now that they did not get response, they thought to take the billboard so that the one that put it there will come for it. After we did our analysis, we felt that the two of them had erred because that boundary had been there for over 35 years now, and we were not speaking of it. Things were calm until the billboard was erected. So against that, the superintendent office, in her wisdom, thought to call for what we call a moratorium on the parcel of land, meaning that the billboard should not have gone back there, and all parties should hold everything constant until at such time when we are duly advised, then we'll take a decision. Because if you, in your right mind, had given, quote unquote, your son or your kinsman a parcel of land, and your neighbor has come to ask you as to who has given the land, I think it was right and fair enough to let them know that, yes, indeed, we did it. Or if you did not have the information that your son, quote unquote, had put in a billboard, after your investigation, you needed to call your police or your brothers or your neighbors and tell them, look, the question that you have been coming to ask, yes, indeed, we gave this piece to our son or our brother. That would have been better. But instead, they kept the information. Ragtown also came after asking and did not get a response, decided to unroot the billboard and carry the billboard. So when the office did the analysis, they felt that the two of them were in error. That was not the way it should have gone. But what could we do? So we tried to figure out why it was so. And then we got to know that Ragtown got turned off or got aggravated because a billboard was planted that they did not inform them. So then, quote unquote, we needed to know if the billboard was in the area of Ragtown or the area of Big Town. So hold on until otherwise order. Instead, Big Town took the ruling out of context to say that the superintendent office said they do not respect the boundaries. And in fact, the worst that they've done, they've written the Council of Chiefs to come and do an immediate investigation. The Council of Chiefs, knowing better, met the office of the superintendent, in fact, told them that you are proceeding in error. The superintendent office did not talk about boundary. They talked about a moratorium on the land until otherwise ordered. So we cannot go into such investigation until the superintendent authorizes us. And besides that, they had gone to the Land Commission where the case was in process. The office of the superintendent had only invited them to create what we call a peace mood while they go through the professional investigation as who should be querying about billboard or no billboard. So they took this information and tried to mislead the people that the superintendent is talking about boundary. And at no time did we discuss boundary in our deliberations at the administrative building. So I've come to clear the air because people nowadays are prepared for confusion. This administration did not come for confusion. They came to build this county and leave a legacy. That's what the administration is about. So making noise for Savannah land is not our interest. So if anybody who sees it as a business to continue to put our people into pandemonium, we've come to discourage that and to let everybody know that whoever is spreading the rumors that the superintendent say that this is about boundary and what is that, I mean, it's unfortunate, and I want to say that it's diabolical, and it has no iota of truth. So I've come to Phoenix to inform the Marylanders and the Liberian people that listen to what we have to say and deduce from there and know that somebody is prepared for trouble. And I want to say crystal clear to Marylanders here that this administration will not contain, I repeat, this administration will not contain anybody, be it an individual or a group of people, who will make up their mind to disturb the peace of this community and this country. We will follow you to the end. So if you are a troublemaker, please have a second thought. We are not deterred. We are not afraid. If you create problem, we'll give you problem. If you come in peace, you will enjoy double peace. So we are here to inform our people that whatever was said to the contrary or what we are saying is diabolical, is untruth, it has no bearings, and so we've come to clear the air that this is not the intent of the administration. We didn't come for boundary harmonization. We are not a survey group. We are administrators. What we do at the level of the government, at the level of the superintendent office, is to protect life and property. Whoever wants to do survey, quote unquote, will have to go to land commission. So tonight, I'm authorizing the land commission to call Big Town and Rock Town to investigate what has happened over there with regards to a billboard that was being rooted out by Rock Town, so that we would know where we live or where we go from here. So this is why I'm here.
Phoenix FM, you're listening to this interaction, the first since Honorable Henry Cole ascended to the position of superintendent in Maryland County. And Joseph Allison is backing him up here. He's going to tell you a little bit more in the Grebo language before we proceed with more questions. Joe.
Ate na nyoa nebisi amede de agrana mo ne be la apeka no ne be yawa abli we mo tete de oye ka yara ho dara ba yina de ida ye miti te ka yara ho dara oye tawe o yara difle ye ne gbenwe o yara difle ye ke here yo wi pe oye difle ha po yara ye o yara ye ke ho te bio eyi ne mo bo yira wentu otura ero nwete awin ne te owi pera ne ha owo yira ye owo pera ne mo na nyu te hin adike eyi be po ami blo no apom huke ami blo sofe am oye yete ayidi ke de ti adi e mo da mo ne mo ne yire we no yira be ne apepo hiri kole den you mo grand o mo sweeten ne yi sofe ade ne yi we defe you mo blo no ha ka no po ne yi we defe you kwa ha grand yo hiam ogle ne no kwa ha ne kode ne nere emi no we no yira emi am hiri ne amom ne blo ba ke emo Maryland ke here oye nyo bia won le mo owuro yira ne mo koro dira miti e hunde koro dira ke yame omo suite na ko praje ne mo nye dia nyo wo nya de amia blog ba ke amia sofia mo oye yire we no yira no yire ke abliwa hiri ta wa yiri ne gbe wa yiri we no yira no yira ati ye he nyu yu okore brother mo kere account ye oye o le de nyomo ne mo bo po etiri no benu efo no na bako po ye ke gbe we kota we hiri de eminu yo ke tebe hin hera huru e mo samboya e ko brotimi hera huru de henem ta we po nyete yiram de to yira wempe oye de na ti ide yaka be nu ye oye wino yira pepe ne ba nu area yiro wino yira be ni bri be yore ba yi mi ni yiro wino ke yaka be ne kuri ni yiro wino ni yo ara yiro wino de ke asibite na ke owinpe ni oye yira ne gbewe yiri ta wa yiri amogrebo dorone etie oye oho te mi ne yira mo kere Maryland ne eyi tawe do eyi gbewe do apepe amon ne Maryland ke yin owo kuri de okpe yire ho da ho te yire de amire himo o yire en no nyimete be nele blog ba ka na plowa ble ba bidi ke amire nom ablo ominya muni ke ne yaka de ne yaka ne hiemi yo ne yakwere de ne kwere ne hiemi yo ke ne yakroblia na problia e ka be bidi ke no be muni nya amire nom de ablog ba ominya muni yo ne bisi ami oboya lampe ba anyu kwere ba ira ano.
All right, we want to say a big thanks to Joseph Ellison, and let's move over to the Honorable Superintendent with some questions on our plate here. Your relationship with former Senator H. Dan Marias, is it true, first of all, that you are siding with the people of Big Town because you are quite close with former Senator H. Dan Marias?
Thank you. I think that question doesn't have any bearing in the discussion because Brother Gardner, H. Dan Marias is like a brother to me. We've come with sound and good friendship for over 40, 50 years now. We've been good friends. But that does not give anyone the audacity to do what is unbecoming because maybe, quote unquote, they will be looking at HDM for what we call support or what it is. No, our friendship does not go to that level. It does not extend to that level.
Okay.
Administration is administration. If anyone does something wrong and they need to be punished, they will definitely be punished.
Okay, and you won't care whether H. Dan Marias is from Big Town or whatever. You're not going to be bothered about that.
Let me get it straight. H. Dan Marias is somebody with principles.
Okay.
I respect him for that, and he knows me well. And I think our friendship is on a very professional level. And so if anyone do anything and feel that he will get the backing of him, so you will do something to the contrary, I want you to erase it now.
Okay. And yes, more on that boundary. The boundary issue itself was allegedly started during the tenure of Senator H. Dan Marias as superintendent. We heard from some people of Rocktown who claimed that they had to cede some territory, some of their land, because by then Senator Marias was superintendent, and it was during the time when there were a whole lot of guns. Do you know the former marker?
Well, like I said,
that is before the superintendentship of former Senator H. Dan Marias.
Or rather than I said initially, the office of the superintendent is not engaged in surveys.
Okay.
And we don't hope or wish to be one of those surveyors. What I would say is that boundary, I must agree that there have been misunderstanding and misgivings about the way and manner in which it was conducted. But mind you, that has been in existence for over 25 years now.
Right.
So I think the people who were concerned or who are concerned were living together in harmony. So I did not see the issue of a boundary to be of any concern because, government is continuity.
Right.
And so this administration will not come and want to undo what the next administration have done. But what we could do is what we thought to do, and it's being misinterpreted. So if you misinterpret the function or the position of the government of the day, then it behooves us to maybe take a second look at what you intend to do. So for me, I do not intend to make boundaries. But if the people of Big Town continue to make that rubber, because I was taken aback when I saw professional people, lay people signing a document. Maybe their signatures were forged because everything there was finger. So maybe they just put those names.
Right.
But the document I saw, then it's unfortunate because those people were in the meeting and we had a very professional meeting and peaceful meeting. And in my opening statement, I made it clear we did not come for boundary harmonization. What we came to do is to create a scene that peace will continue to prevail amongst you. So what we did, we brought in the people of Whole Grebo and the people of Kavara. Those are similar, relations with Ragtown and Big Town. There's Nimaware and Krimaware in one section, Kavala and Whole Grebo, and there's Krimaware and Nimaware in one section with Ragtown and Big Town.
And Whole Grebo and Kavala don't have such issues.
Not at all. So then I brought them in so that their brothers will learn from them in that discussion, because I call it a family discussion, and we had a lengthy discussion. There were other issues that were spoken about with regards to bringing peace, opening the minds and attitudes of our people. Because if these two brothers can sit there for over 6 or more decades, 20 or more decades, and they are not into each other's throat, then what is going on the right-hand side? So you need to learn from them. And before we made that decision, we had consultation with the high table. And what did we derive at? Look, these people were living in harmony before this day. So what we see here is that the brother in question should desist from pushing further on the land and let peace reign. So it was against this background that we gave the marching order that there should be no more operation on that land until we can be further advised. But then it was misconstrued, or maybe somebody else took it as a means of politicizing the land issue and trying to think that they can frighten the administration. And I can tell anybody, I'm ruthless. But again, I'm professional. So I come in twofold. If you bring mess, I get you mess. If you bring peace, I get you peace. And I stand by my boy. And if anybody try me, they will see the wrath of government. It happened here when I was in Monrovia, and we will get to the bottom of that. That will be for another day. When people were gallivanting here in the name of country devil, besieging homes in the city, I'm here. I want to see it. I will give you a marching order. When you come from in the hole, I will take you back in the hole. And I'm prepared for that. But mind you, we'll be a saver and we'll be a professional. But when you try us, we'll give it to you stink. I can tell you any day, and I stand by it. I did not come here to be a puppet for anybody. I came here to run an administration, and I've subscribed to that, and I'm prepared for that. If anybody feel that they are more Grebo than any other person, I will tell you, you gotta be cool. We got more Grebo than you.
Okay, folks, you hear that from the superintendent. He's not here for that. So let's one more question on this Big Town, Rocktown issue, and it has to do with the complaint, the letter of complaint from the people of Rocktown, which was addressed to your office, alleging that their children from Rocktown were coming to Harper along the beach and were chased by men wielding cutlasses. Have you received that complaint first? And secondly, this has to do with law and order, and of course, it inadvertently involves the police. How are we on that?
Thank you. Radford, like I said, we'll try to provide some professionalism here.
Okay.
There's a saying on our law that your saying is as better as mine. Meaning, if you make an allegation, there must be some facts that has to do with the allegation. And if we do not see the magnitude, sometimes we tend to let it go. It is true that Racktown brought in some allegation where they named a pastor that was attacked, not brutally, but was engaged. And these guys came from the bush, according to them, on the beach, and this pastor was going because he has a church in Racktown. And on his way, he said these individuals stopped him on the beach and wanted to know if he came from Racktown or he was just going there. And he said, "Oh, for what? Why are you asking me this question?" And according to him, they were prepared to attack him, but because he did not come from Racktown, so they didn't attack him. But then again, this office, they didn't want to subscribe to they say and we say. So we are conducting an investigation.
Okay, and also about the children. That was the last part.
That was the last part of the discussion where the children to do, and then nobody else was there besides the children of Racktown. So we did not want to give credence to that. What we thought to do is to make sure that we apply a little bit of professionalism. So at a better time, we inform the security to do what we call security networking, where the truth of the matter will come up someday. But for that, we did not want to, blow anything out of proportion because the beach is open. Somebody could come from Plebo and go on the beach and attack somebody there. It don't necessarily have to be big down in Racktown. So while it is true that Racktown made a specific allegation with regards to a pastor and he gave the revelation, we still want to feel that there's room for discussion, there's room for security networking, and so we let the sleeping dog lie.
Okay. And we can't do this interview without talking about the Judge Nelson Tokwa issue. Where are we on that as well?
Well, the government, in her own wisdom, is taking some time trying to gather some facts before she get involved. But I can tell you for free, nothing is going to go untouched. We will not have a state in a state. This county has one leader, and that leader is the Superintendent of Maryland County. And furthermore, we have opinion leaders, we have our caucuses that also have authority in our county. But those are people with the oversight, and then the implementing order comes from the office of the superintendent because he's the vice of the president. And the issue of His Honor George Togba is being followed. It might be slow, but justice will not be denied. And I want to say here tonight that all those who took part in that process to besiege Philadelphia Township
on two different occasions
and Harper City will have to go through the law to provide what we call some explanation with regards to why and how that could be possible in a township. That we'll get to.
Okay. And can we touch on other matters? So
I'm open. I'm here.
Okay. And so let's move over to the Callaway Mining company, which actually should have been doing prospecting. And we had this information about their involvement into mining, actual mining. And we had this situation again with the representative of that district, Honorable Austin Taylor. What's the latest on that? I know we spoke with you as well as Representative Taylor. Is there any investigation going on? What's going on there?
Thank you very much. Just yesterday, I made a trip to Callaway. Before then, I have asked the district superintendent to invite all those mining in the area for a brief meeting. We call it to familiarize ourselves with those who are mining. And then the next one will be to provide us the requisite information and documents as it relates to their operation in the area. So we were there yesterday, and unfortunately, two of the companies did not turn out.
Including the company in question, the Chinese?
Exactly, did not turn out. So we met one group called the Jupiter Group, but the Jupiter Group, quote unquote, has all its documents. For the records, they are operating in the Nyorokan area, but then again, they are not doing mining. What they are doing is the construction of a road leading from Manolu to Nyorokan. And when I ask why will you decide to do this, they say, well, we are here to stay. We are not in a hurry to mine. Instead, we want to make sure that we satisfy the curiosity and the hearts of our people by building a road, because that is what they wanted all along. And after the road shall have been built, then we will sit with them to draw up an MOU. And after that is done, then we can start mining, because this is not a hurry thing. But we've got our documents and they are 100%. And so I was provided the document, I perused it together with my joint security team, and they were good. So there and then, the office of the superintendent, with the gavel, decided to close whoever down until you can provide your document just as Jupiter has done. So the joint security went on the field and closed all those people down. And they will be coming to my office on Monday to provide me with updated documents. If they are satisfied, of course, they will go back to work. If not, they will continue to be in the backstairs until otherwise ordered.
And so, have you been in touch with the representative of that district, Honorable Austin Taylor? Since that mining company.
We are good. We are good. I respect the Honorable Austin Taylor. It was just a little procedural error that we both had to get straightened up, and it was done. And he mean good for his district, and as well as me, I mean good for Maryland County. So we trash it out. We're good friends, and so we are all looking for one goal. We are all aiming at one goal, and that is to make sure that people who operate in our area are legal. That's what it is. So it's just that the timing was not right.
Okay.
But we got it going. I respect him. He's a very fine gentleman, and so we are together.
Okay. Let's move over to security and general safety, drugs, crime, correctional facilities. It's been a serious problem in Maryland County with security. Whenever there's a big problem, I would say, there's always need to have reinforcements come in from other parts of the country to beef up the strength of the security here. The police don't have a patrol vehicle, which of course they need at least two. They don't have logistics. The holding cell is in shambles. It had to take the intervention of someone, in fact, before we could get some renovation work started at the central prison. What is your administration doing about this?
Radford, it will interest you to know that when we were appointed as superintendent of Maryland County, our first engagement was to make sure that we meet with all those stakeholders. We had to do with the police director, the DEA boss, some other line ministries, to try to present the Maryland case. So we're fortunate to meet the IG, Grebo Clans, and we had a lengthy discussion. And what were some of the things that we were talking about? We brought up the issue of manpower. And we were made to understand that, in fact, he had just sent a team to do hair counts, because it was observed that most of the people that were assigned here were on AWOL. They aborted their position here.
Wow.
And went to Monrovia, and they were here there collecting money on behalf of in the name that they are working in Maryland, and they are just sitting in Monrovia and not even going to assignment. So he needed to nip it in the bud. And I must commend him. The team had come here, grand crew, and what have you. And then we talk about transportation and manpower again. And he said, trust me, Mr. Superintendent, now that you've come here, but before you decide to come, we have Maryland on mind. We had a grand crew on mind, because you are like the faraway counties. And given what has happened in Maryland County a few years ago, we thought to provide you with some logistics so that you'll be on top of things. Besides that, we spoke about the Watch Forum. And then, since most of the people do not intend to come back after they've graduated from the police academy, then we start to preach the case of the Watch Forum. These are young men and women in our community that are excited to work in the security sector. So why don't you train them? Why don't you train them? And then they could be of some valuable services to us, because they'll be proud to be in the police uniform. They'll be very excited to curtail crime and in fact combat those hooligans that have the tendency of breaking up government institutions whenever there is something in the county. And he bought the idea. As I speak to you, a few days ago, we had a situation in Hoffman Station, and the Watch Forum was on top of things. Otherwise, we would have lost the police station again. But they were in top shape, and I want to use this time, even though I spoke with them that morning during the monster, but I want to use this time to also thank them for being far-sighted and being very vigilant as it relates to security. So, Brother Gardner, and for our listening audience, the administration is not sleeping. We just have to give some time for things to unfold. So there will be some connections, some readjustment in our security sectors. There will be logistics. There will be a lot of good things coming very soon. So I want for our people to give us some time and then look forward to us so that we can do what we came to do.
Okay. You just mentioned that incident in Huffman Station a few days ago, and there are actually allegations of trial by ordeal. We had a member of the civil society and also the Human Rights, the Justice and Peace Commission making some stalking allegations against the county attorney, which we hope to host subsequently on this radio, that 4 people are being held because of something similar to trial by ordeal, which is actually illegal under the Constitution of Liberia. Have that case been brought to your attention?
Unfortunately, that case has not been brought to my attention officially. I overheard that by hearsay, they say, and I tried to inquire, off record as to what was unfolding. And I was told that they have some church people somewhere and trying to figure out who did what and who didn't do what. But then again, like you said rightly, the government does not subscribe to trial by ordeal. And those things are not permissible in court because you must have evidence to provide in court. So once that is not done, anything that is by way of magic or witchcraft is not permissible in court. So we try to advise in the process, and then we made them to understand that, we can't do that in this 21st century. And if our people will feel that this is a way that they will do to embarrass us, one day, they could be caught, pens down. But for now, the law has to be the law. You can't grab them. But again, while we are all traditional people, there could be some truth in the matter, but the procedure is what matters, because if those procedures are wrong, no lawyer, no county attorney can process anybody into court, because you must do what we call a charge sheet. And the narrative in the charge sheet will have to be legally done and professionally done, other than somebody say. So again, we will leave it up to our legal professionals to make sure that that comes under control, and that while they are doing the thing, we want to caution them that it should not bring security outbursts, because anything to the contrary will move in and we have things put under control. But for now, we have advised that those who were connected should have the freedom, because the procedure is not followed, and those people could say that they were coerced to do what they were doing or to say what they were saying, because somebody somewhere must have coerced them. So we can subscribe to that.
All right, 2 more questions. So I hope you bear with me. One, reckless driving and power supply. But let's tackle the issue of reckless driving, which leads to problems. We had an advice from the authorities when we had an accident recently involving an ambulance and at least 4 and later on 5 people, leaving them dead. And also the issue of these trucks from Beryllium or Golden Sifka or whatever, and other trucks and taxis overspeeding, driving quite recklessly through the city. What are you doing about that?
Well, I need to do something. We started something some time ago. First and foremost, we were in Monrovia and we expressed our condolences to those families
on this very radio,
who lost their loved ones, and we still want to, in this public manner, say sorry again. But most of our accidents around here has been as a result of reckless driving, and we thought to invite some of the institutions for dialogue, like the hospital. The ambulance has been one of our problems.
Right.
They have been with the concept that they are above the law, that they do not have traffic regulations, because you are bringing in somebody who wants to die and you are saving life. But what will happen if you become regulars and then that one life take away 7 lives? Who has done worse? I think the ambulance have done worse. So we want to use this occasion to thank you for flagging this. We've not forgotten. We were only engaged because we got in county, and immediately upon our arrival induction, we were recalled to Monrovia for some other administrative workshops. And so because of that, we have not had the time to put to the table those issues of concern. But we've started to do some now because we have some time in town now, because we're not leaving town until maybe next month, where a very big conference will be held in Kanta. But we are here and we'll try to put some checkmate to some of these things. First, we will deal with the traffic issue. We've observed that most of our riders neglect the rules and regulations that leads to, perfect driving. They overtake you anyhow. There's no safety gears. And so we'll be getting there. And then we'll invite our institutions like CRLC, MOPP, the hospital, and some other institutions.
Golden Safeguard.
And to have a working dialogue. We have a working meeting with them, informing them of government intention to have strict rules as it relates to accidents and other things. That institutions will start to pay premium, whether you like it or not. Will start to take up responsibilities, because when your car, quote unquote, carry all these exercises, most times we come with a delegation to beg and stuff like that, and people just take it, for granted. But this time around, we're gonna make it crystal clear. If you break somebody's leg, you pay that person until they die. You will continue to pay for that broken leg until for the rest of the life, because you have disabled them. So some of those rules will be coming into play, and that's what we intend to do with our people, so that we can continue this idea of recklessness. Some of the drivers will just drink and drive, and our officers, sooner or later, when we have the required manpower that is needed, there will be strict traffic rules in our county. I hope people will not interpret it to be a police state, but I can tell you for free, there's going to be a lot on our plate. And so people who feel that they can get away now, enjoy. The time will come where you account for every single thing you do in the traffic. Because some of them come, in the name of motorbike repairer, and you will take up the exhaust and you will blow up the whole town. And on our law,
public peace,
our law, that is public nuisance. You have to take a ticket. But because we do not have the manpower, so people go unpunished with some of these things. You ride motorbike in the town. Your happiness is not my happiness. You can disturb me in the name of your enjoyment. You come up, you see 4 or 5 youth on a motorbike, no shy. And they will be yelling all over the place. Come on, you're causing pandemonium. You can't do that in a civilized community. But this place will be rehauled. I can tell you for free. We're going to put some things into play. Maryland County has to come back to her status. Harper City has been one of the best cities in our country. Today, you look around you, you see the diet. You see people doing things. We know conscience, but we nip it. I can tell you. I promise you.
Okay.
I promise you.
And lastly, electricity. Recently, we had the input of meters for distribution, which are being sold by the company responsible, which is the Lip Energy. And people are complaining that it's exorbitant. In Monrovia, the meters are given for far less than what they are being given right now. Also, Lip Energy took over more than a year ago. That was April of last year. Till date, we've not seen much expansion as they should have been doing. The electricity fluctuates daily, blowing people's appliances off. What are you doing about the energy sector, sir?
All right, before Lip Energy came here, we were fortunate to meet Her Excellency Madam Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, and we were given a different picture of what is unfolding today. What were we told? This power grid, this power supply was intended for the rural community, 1, 2, and its administrative officers or its managers will have been a community-based professionals coming together to run the grid to alleviate poverty. That was the intent. Today, it has taken a different trend. The LEC, as you see there, was only what we call consultant in the process. But right between there, I don't know what has happened. LEC now has taken over the grid as if it was intended for them. The West African Power Pool, Liberia's first contribution was done by the EU. And then the protocol was signed. And then those things were enshrined into them to bring people from the community who are professionals, to showcase their talents and at the same time control the grid so that people in the area will enjoy electricity. To our utmost surprise, today is a different ball game. So if you will note, because of my involvement at the time, I was county inspector. I got involved with the whole proceedings of the West African Power Pool operations in our county. In fact, this is how Brother Wally Dennis came aboard. We selected Wally Dennis because the notion that we had, the understanding that we had was that it should have been a community-based operation where professionals, business people will come and showcase their talent on how to run the system, get paid, get something out of our people, and run the system effectively. At one point in time, we were told Mr. Dennis didn't have the capacity. All right, we agree. Left energy came in. But what's the difference between Left Energy and Mr. Dennis? As you speak, nothing strange has happened. Besides that, they haven't come to us as county administration, which of course we'll delve in later on because we are preparing a surprise shot for them. I can tell you for free, this superintendent is not that one that you will just push around. So a few days ago, I wrote them because it was alarming when it came to the issue of the prepaid meter sale. My citizens are crying. $130 to exorbitant. Then moreover, the meter is not for you. The meter becomes theirs even at the level of the payment of the $130. Then you are giving 6 months, according to them, to pay for the meter that they own. And then at the end of the day, you are left empty there. So, Brother Gardner, thank you that you brought it up. I thought your station by now had the announcement. On Monday, we are having what we call a joint citizen meeting at 10 o'clock at the administration building to discuss the issue of the prepaid meters.
Okay.
After that meeting, we'll be moving on to Plebo, 2 o'clock, to also hold another meeting in Plebo as it relates to the meters. So I will urge all citizens to come so that we can discuss this thing in details. I myself invited them at my office. We had a discussion, and I'll be frank with you on this radio, I'm not yet convinced as to why there should be 130. I know of situations in Monrovia, even though I was being told that the meters in Monrovia were being were being backed up, were being financed by, I think, EU or UN. But hey, if you could do it in Monrovia, in an urban area like Monrovia, where you have ministers, you have business tycoons, and you will come to Kipamas, where we are virtually out of order. So come Monday, there'll be a big citizen meeting because my people are crying.
Okay.
Like I told you from the onset, our administration and the administration of this county is responsible for to life and property. So our people will not be in this kind of predicament and we feel satisfied. So we are prepared to go an extra mile in the discussion, and I bet you there will be some decisions made after the Monday meeting.
Okay, Honorable Soup, we want to say thank you very much for appearing on Phoenix Radio.
That's why I will make it my business every time I'm in town, every time we have some time and issues of concern. We'll come to the radio to inform our people, to give them our side so that they know exactly our position, because it's very important. If you allow rumors to take over the day, nothing will be done properly. We'll be coming every time we have the time, and every time you invite us, we come to make some clarity.
Thank you very much. That was Honorable Superintendent Henry Cole. Thanks for listening.
Go where? They are powerful.